Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Oh, one moment. And enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming, and Sunny Mountain Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Love Exalt. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Chef's mom holds her badge in thumb and forefinger, rubbing it like a worry stone. Little over-polished nugget of metal reflects her furrowed expression back at her. Chef listens. My boss comes in. He asked me to scry a guy from the southern branch. After my 15-minute break, it's another girl from the same branch. He needs to see the footage her eyeballs recorded on this day at this time. Scry, scry, scry. I mean, I haven't worked with these people up close, but I've been reading their names on the paper for years. And now? She shoves her badge back in her pocket where she can't see it. Well, some of them, after I do my report, they disappear. All I know is their names aren't on any papers anymore. Not any I have access to, at least. I'm waiting for the shift where I have to scry someone from my own office. I just want it to stop. I mean, I'm level 80. I've been doing this shit since I was 16. There's no way I can switch classes and start again from level 1. Maybe I could switch companies, but I heard from Shyrien next door that all the other guilds are going through the same thing. Staff inspections, they call them. That sucks. Ha! That feels better. Thanks for listening. I can't just move to another town, and you're almost done with your school, too. And you've got a boyfriend now. Chef stealthily rearranges his homework on the kitchen counter, shuffling random papers around until they cover the huge red F written in fiend blood ink. He's not my boyfriend, Mom. We're just two guys who like to hang out a lot. Uh-huh. Chef takes another 15 minutes on the meal while his mom periodically re-asks him to go clean his shit up. Every time he thinks about dropping his recipe and going outside, his thoughts eventually get stirred away into the crock pot. Finally, his mom sneaks up behind him with a hug. She pries the wooden spoon out of his hand and clicks his stove off. I'll stir it for you. Go. Chef twists the little steel dial back up to low heat. He slips into his favorite shoes. Faint dusk stars, trees blowing in the wind. Chef breathes in the air outside. He wipes the spilled stew with a wet rag. Down on his hands and knees, he fixes the broken bowl in a shitty, knobbly way using mix, and leans back down to start scrubbing the grooves between the boards. Then, in the darkness of the forest surrounding his house, he hears a worn-down, half-laughing voice. Huh. Chef freezes. Hello? He strains to listen. All he hears is crickets in the cricket den down by the glade. He tries to get back to washing the porch again, but his resolve doesn't last long. On all fours, he turns his head to check for signs of anything humanoid moving between the trees. I've been reading too much horror shit. So you know? Nah. Chef clambers to the railing and looks out into the dusk, into the forest gloom full of dead leaves. Who's there? Anyone? Now he hears a chorus of voices. Light flickers from a tight group of 5 torches. Men and women laugh together. They're dragging a dead monster by its neck on a rope made of thorns. Eventually, the group puts too many thick tree trunks between themselves and Chef's house, and their laughter fades into the ambience of the cooing loppers and the autumn night crickets. Fucking people. Hey! This is private property! They're already way out of earshot. Chef kicks the wall and drops to his hands and knees again, scrubbing furiously. Now the voice comes through quaking with laughter, but it doesn't sound intentional. Huh. Help me. Help me! Chef looks down. A pair of eyes gleam up at him in the pit of darkness between the grooves of the smelly porch boards. Inside the kitchen is empty. The pages of his homework start to turn golden brown in the heat below his simmering pot. The officiary breathes raggedly, collapsed to her stomach in the black hallway. The general shape of the hallway constantly corrects itself, steel shifting and breathing. Hypnotic ripples maintaining the structure's width and length. She feels for the spectral chains that were wrapped around her throat moments ago. They're gone. She pleads into the cold floor. Conductor, can you hear me? No answer. She tries to get up, but oxygen is still returning to her tingling legs, so she crumples back to the ground. Hi. Down the shifting hallway, malevolent red light grins at her from the depths of the open cockpit, bleeding around the edges of an indistinct shadow with long, unkempt hair and an armful of books. She checks the opposite direction, expecting a door that leads back to the yellow passenger, but there's no door at the end of the hallway, only more hallway, forever. She doesn't go that way. She just lays there. The officiary prepares to use the universal ability. She uses the universal ability Sense Status. Oh wow, it's a lot of health. Indebted, unable to use abilities on Deadghost until the debt is paid. No! The officiary internally repeats the word no. She clutches her skull and arches her back, writhing with sorrow, fingers in her hair. She eyes the cockpit entrance with a crushing glare. Is someone there? I move in the red light. Hold on a minute. Sir, it's me! The officiary runs at me, wiping tears from her eyes, but I can't allow her to see me while I'm out of my shell, so I duck out of her view and jitter off to the side of the conductor's cabin. A few books tumble from my arms. Don't run away! What are you doing? Okay. She stumbles on the rippling floor, her heels clunking together. That buys me the last few seconds I need. Stay put! There's been a meteoric emergency! When she finally bursts into the front cabin, I'm gone. Her expression darkens. She casts her eyes around the room, peeling the paint off the metal walls with them. The red light. It's the electrical warning light, overflowing with silent panic from the control panel, which is twisted and fused together with impossible spatial contusions. Sir? Are you okay? The empty room hums with machinery. Wind batters the front windows. How could you have allowed this to happen? We did the safety checks together. I locked the door to your cabin myself. Did you let a passenger in? You know that's against the rules. But if you did, I won't put in a report or anything, I promise. I promise. So, why are you hiding? Come out and face me, please, sir. It's ma'am. It's ma'am, and no thanks. She checks the controls. Everything is locked into autopilot. Critical systems are melted into each other, inaccessible. Through the front window, she checks the exterior of the train for any damage or indication of forced entry. The officiary is hypnotized by the full moon for a moment. She looks down, hoping to see bundles of town lights, pinprick rows of gas street lamps, and campfires in the lifeless forests. But the storm obscures everything. Snow clouds expand and crash into each other in slow motion like wet cotton in a meat grinder. The only sign of life she can see is the skinny black spikes of Exalt towers poking through the clouds, up to the next layer of atmosphere. I can't think about the rest of the world right now. With a paw drifting mournfully over the disfigured throttles and buttons, the officiary closes her eyes and lowers her head. Boss, your passengers need you. I haven't studied enough to work these controls, especially not in a state like this, but you'd know what to do, I'm sure of it. The conductor is slumped behind the door, silent. You'd be like, ah, my dear officiary, the outgoing radio button is this yellow one over here, or, not to worry, it seems the accursed spectre has left the B valve out in the open. Or something, oh, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Boss, I wanted to ask you, when we arrive in Lastport, could you please give me some lessons? If you had a spare afternoon, I wanted to sit down together and go over Rule 5. Rule 5B. Section 6. Addendum. A single tear falls on the machinery into the circuits. It bursts into sparkles of vapor, curling away into the musty air. Ah. She startles and spins around. Deadghost is hovering casually in the air behind her, chilling with his feet up. Deadghost is a fucking dick. You're crying, pussy. The officiary wraps her paw around a loose throttle. Her arm tenses from shoulder to fingertip. I wouldn't fuck with that. I'd be the second person to break a rule if I altered the flight path of this train to a direct vertical drop, wouldn't I? Technically, you're violating the first rule 6 times per second. Every moment you continue to stand here in the front cabin. My rule set noties are spamming me like crazy. But I'll allow it since I put you right next door. I will not, however, allow you to swing that B-valve. Don't break the rules, please. I don't want to kill you without anyone here to get heartbroken over your death. And as deterrence goes, all I needed was one example, and Pet graciously filled that role for me already. She steals up. What did you do to my loyal customer? You used him as an example for deterrence? I killed him. He's dead. You really killed him? Oh no. Oh my god, that's so unfortunate. The officiary smiles. Why are you happy about that? Oh, only because I know for a fact he'll be alright. I tailed the last passenger shortly after she boarded. She's got a few people's badges, and I discovered that we shared the good company of a healer. A healer? Yes. A healer. A healer? I already said yes. A healer with the 12 consecutive channelers ability. The 12 of what? You mean revive? Oof. What the fuck? That's cheating! No, it's technically not, because your rule set is trash. There's no rule against reviving players. I wonder if you would stoop to killing him again for the same infraction, once he's been revived, but you seem like the type who despises unfairness such as double jeopardy. The punishment for breaking the rules is death. Just one, I guess. You sure revive is even off cooldown, bitch. Her frustration snaps and she stomps up to him and sticks her snout right in front of his permanent smile. You are not going to get away with this. Whoa there, gonna punt me again? That wouldn't be fair. I promised I wouldn't attack any of you. Just be careful not to overexert yourself. That hallway ain't getting any shorter if you need medical assistance. I'm not going to hit you. I'm going to file a report. I'll bring the system down on your head, and it's gonna hit a whole lot harder than my foot. Okay, lol. I don't care what happens to me after this anyway. She grabs him by the skull and shakes him. Why? Why are you orchestrating this stupid shit aboard my train? Why are you doing this? I told you. I'm doing this for the fun of it. If you just want to see people die, go bed at the towers with the other lowlifes. Let go of my dome. Deadghost throws her off. Fuck the death matches and the battle royales. It's not the same when there's no love or betrayal involved. I do like death and killing, obviously. But really, more than anything, I want to see people grow to love each other. Only to lock them in a rule set that annihilates love. Doesn't that sound sick to you? I thought you adored rules and systems. The officiary punches him in the face. There we go. Good effort. She holds her bruised paw, wincing to herself and pulling back. You're through. Once I rescue the When she looks down at her knuckles, though, she notices something on the ground. The officiary blinks. It's my books still laying on the floor. Oh, what's you looking at? Hold on a moment. I recognize this title. She picks a book up. It's a textbook on how to operate a train. Oh. Why would he need... Oop. My big bomb blocking your view of him this whole time? Here, let me show you. I don't think you ever checked behind this door, did you? Deadghost nudges the door out of the way with his forehead, and its hinges creak sickeningly as it winds to a full close, revealing the conductor, slumped against the wall in a pool of his own blood. Fall into despair. He's dead. Your beloved... The officiary drops a textbook she was stealthily reading in one hand and whips her attention over the controls. The yellow outgoing radio button. She smashes a thumb down on it. The relay crackles. This is flight number 213. We've been hijacked by a I use the ability Redecorate. The button spatially recedes into the rest of the controls, almost taking her finger with it. Blah! Okay, you're done now. Alright, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to have a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you on Above and Beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our 3 gold tier patrons, Zeke, Toby, and Blue Wolf Alpha. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if you want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our Unsafe for Work contents as little as $5. And if y'all don't want to donate to our Patreon, you can always donate using Super Thanks on YouTube. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!